Hey guys, Nick and Jackie here, and we are here to show you just a big old chunk of our hands-on time with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare's multiplayer.
Yes.
So we basically were able to go play it, and we brought a lot of footage home with us, but we wanted to show you sort of the two best rounds to give you an example of what the process of playing Advanced Warfare is like and some of the changes they've made. So this right here is, I believe this is your first round? You can tell because of how quickly you're navigating through the menus.
I'm just like trying to get all of the perks that I want.
Yeah,
all my attachments.
So this is you customizing a character for the first time with the old pick 13 system.
Pick 13.
And so here you're looking at some of the different score streaks that you can apply.
Yeah, so you can choose 1, 2, 3, 4.
Even 4, yeah.
Streaks.
One
so
of the
typically you have 3 that you can choose, but these are way more customizable. I don't ever get to the 3rd or 4th usually, so I usually just I'm doing the first 2 only.
And you'll note that some of these extra perk slots are delineated with a little ace because they're, or is that a spade? A spade, because you need to use one of your wild cards. Like if you want to have 4 score streaks, you can do it, but one of your 13 picks is going to go towards choosing the wild card that gives you a 4th perk. So we're looking at your character here now. You have put a foregrip and a suppressor on this here assault rifle.
Yeah.
And no secondary weapon. Just stick with the old combat knife.
I usually switch. Like, I think a lot of people are mentioning this with Ghosts as well. This is like, you die so often in these games, like more so than old Call of Duties. I don't ever get to my secondary weapon.
Right, yeah. So right off the bat, it's obvious, like, even customizing this one weapon, there was, like, I think 15 different add-ons just for one primary weapon.
And it depends on the weapon too.
Yeah.
Like different weapons have different kinds of add-ons. Obviously, there's that new laser one.
Yes.
That one's not going to have the certain attachments.
So did you ever play with that laser weapon?
I played a little bit of it.
Yeah. It has, so the way it works, it's a dedicated, like a directed energy beam that does not reload but can overheat. It basically feels like a Halo gun.
It's definitely a plasma weapon.
Yeah.
But it also, they said, acts like an LMG, which is interesting. There's just the reload is just a cool off.
Right.
Which makes sense because you can just let it like hold down on the LMG. Yeah, this is one of the SMGs I thought was really good. It's good for close quarters and it's light, so for running. This map.
Let's see. This is the big old like rainy base. It's the one that you see in the multiplayer reveal trailer that I think will be out by the time this video's out, where they do the jump up in the air and jump backwards over the guy thing. But as you can see, the double jump is a fundamental part of your locomotion in this game. It looks very and feels very Titanfall-esque, but it's not a bad thing. Look at you getting kills right out the gate. So that's also you trying to figure out what the point of that spike grenade is.
Because we have claymores and bouncing betties, and I didn't see any other motion detonation equipment, but apparently the spiky balls are like claymores.
And there's another spike-based weapon that you can retrieve, I guess. And another thing to note is, like, this is both us and all of our opponents, I guess, first time playing Advanced Warfare, so we're very much like we were feeling our way through it for the first time. So that right there, you might have noticed, she pulls out her arm and just launches it off of the wrist-mounted grenade thing.
So you're not even throwing grenades anymore. You have this exo launcher.
Yeah, which is cool. It's not a pure straight line. Like, I noticed that if you're launching it at something far away, even though it has better range maybe and it's faster than throwing a grenade in past Call of Duty games, like if you were trying to shoot it through, like, let's say that green thing over there, you would have to arc it because it doesn't just stick straight there.
It's not just a straight, but it is a little bit more of a straight line than a grenade because you can lob a grenade and. But see, I don't know. It's more directed, so it almost makes it easier to use. Like when you could get a grenade through a window of a building, like that was dope as hell.
Right. It does make it a little easier. I feel like. So up here, I think you can. If you can see, like, there's a platform up there that you could theoretically jump to. Yeah. So
there's all these vertical elements that now you can really take advantage of.
What do you think of the game graphically? Because I think it's like pretty, but
it looks to me the same as Ghosts.
Right, which is weird because Ghosts was kind of one of those mid-gen games, and in theory this would be one that was designed for next-gen. I'm sure this game is, I don't know.
I mean, it looks good. Again, Call of Duty is in its multiplayer, like that's what it is, and so I don't think, at least for me, I don't really care about how detailed the graphics really are for like, a multiplayer.
Call of Duty has not often really been a graphical showcase. You know what? I gotta admit, I love the way the wrist-mounted rocket launcher
It's pretty cool.
looks.
That's pretty cool. No, I like all the advanced warfare things they're bringing in because it makes sense. You want to be able to do stuff that isn't natural.
Yeah. So that pop-up that just appeared, you received a supply drop. The first time that happened to me confused the hell out of me because I thought it meant that I had earned a actual like supply crate to drop in like an orbital supply drop. All that really means is that you've earned a supply drop, as in some loot at the end of the match.
Yeah. So you can, in addition to unlocking when you level up, you get the supply drops, which will unlock different special like elite level weapons.
Right, there are 3 different rarities for each weapon. It's a kind of weird, like Borderlands-y thing. So that red dude over there, you can see off in the distance, is that because you're using the little ping?
That's the ping. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of love that effect too. I gotta admit that the red laser thing is pretty tight looking.
There
honestly.
was a perk in Ghosts that had that as well that I thought was kind of cheap, but I think the ping works really well because of the near field.
That's so funny because I've always been like an information heavy COD player. Like back in the day when I used to play a lot of Modern Warfare 2, I was always like, I need a motion tracker on my gun, I need hell of UAVs, and I need to just know everything about the battlefield at all times because I certainly can't get there from skill alone. Look at that.
Drop shot, saw shot.
That's how you do it. You're always hitting. So what? Wait. So in this crazy control scheme that you use, what do you press to crouch?
So because I'm freaking out all the time when I'm playing, obviously I'm a spaz.
Sure.
When I shoot, I press down on the stick. So if down on the stick is melee, it fucks me up, and I'm like, gonna like punch while I'm mid shooting.
You just have tight pause.
So when when I freak out, instead of punching, I drop shot.
Which is good.
Like it gets me out of the way of the fire.
The bullets, yeah. And it's interesting because like this game, and you don't see it a ton because all of these players are still kind of getting a feel for it. But like the amount of strafing that you can do in this game is pretty wild.
Yeah, so
like,
they want you to be able to like something that Halo does. Obviously, is you can evade your enemies really well. Like you can jump out of the way, and same thing with Titanfall.
Right.
And that's typically you can't do that for Call of Duty. You just die. So they wanted, I think, you to be able to.
Oh, get that flag
out of the way.
You return to the flags. This is a old 2-flag CTF here, to put it in Halo terms. Look at you dropping and killing fools.
I love it.
Murking everybody out here. But yeah, so how did you feel about, I guess, sort of the weapons in this game? They feel like, when you strip away all the extra stuff, the guns feel like Call of Duty guns, like straight up. It sounds obvious.
So they're, I think it's typical that there's always like a FAMAS or a, something that's really cheap and easy for noobs to play with.
Although I noticed one of those assault rifles that they offered us is a 4-shot burst, which
because that's
they just got to keep making all the numbers bigger, dude. It's at pick 13 with your 4-shot burst gun.
Oh my god!
Every number has to grow.
I think the guns feel okay. They feel a little clunkier. I don't know what it is. There's something about the recoil that it makes it a little harder to pick people off at the end of the map.
More severe recoil? Yeah,
but I think that's because they want you to have to use the customizations. Like, I need to use foregrip and whatever it is, less flinch.
Otherwise, like, pulling up your gun feels like it takes, like, just a year and a half.
A little bit.
Another thing that's tough is that, and I'll be interested to see how the game accounts for this, but something that I found challenging in Titanfall was sniping. I jumped right off the level. I never found sniping to be a comfortable thing in Titanfall just because the players could move so fast and I had to worry about their horizontal and vertical movement, and they could just jump at all times. And I wonder how that carries over to here. Like, is this a game that is less camping friendly than past Call of Duties? I don't know. Hopefully.
I mean, so far, like, this was a pretty controlled environment, and it was limited, but it looks like, because it is so easy to die, that they're really trying to make it so you can't just sit in a corner and camp. I honestly, I don't know how Call of Duty really feels about quickscoping. I think they encourage it because it's kind of a tactic.
So now we're taking a look at one of the rounds I played. Here's the firing range area that I only think I got to mess with for a second here. But how it works is anytime you're in create a class, you can hit the start button and it'll drop you into this mode where you're in a firing range and you can shoot at these sort of red targets that are placed all around the arena. There are the terrible sunglasses that I unlocked.
Dude, look how cool she looks.
She looks real neat.
Badass.
With my dumb sunnies.
Yeah, girl.
My Oakleys. The other tight thing is that, so I picked up a reinforcement item in one of the booster packs that I unlocked. So you see a little looking like the movie Gravity looking like thing next to my creator class icon there. And what that means is that one of the items I unlocked gives me for free 6 minutes into the next match a free orbital drop, and mine was a rare actually, so that meant that whatever item I got would inherently be more likely to be a good item.
I don't know what you got that from.
Yeah. Oh, I think I got that in one of the whatever they call the loot booster packs.
No, it was yeah, but what did you do? Because it was a reward. Like, you did something to receive.
Well,
that.
I think it's just they said that you can earn those through experience or achieving certain like challenges.
Yeah. I'm just curious which specific.
Yeah, it didn't really.
Because Alan, one of the producers or devs on there was he was so excited about this rare orbital care package that he got. He stayed for the whole thing to watch you get it.
So this is the mode that is very sportsy. You want to get the ball into your opponent's uplink and keep them from getting the ball, or satellite, I guess they call it, into yours. And you are constantly alerted to the location of the ball carrier. It kind of pings, so it'll say like kill him here, and then here, and then here, and it keeps you sort of abreast of their location.
And when you do have the ball, like we said earlier, you don't have any, you can't use any weapons, you're just running.
Right.
But what's cool is you can also throw it, you can throw it to a teammate
right.
And like pass it off, and so, you know, same thing happens to them. But if you throw it to an enemy, the same thing happens with them. They
They're
drop
holding
all their
it.
shit.
Right, so
and
they can't shoot back,
exactly.
and then you kill them.
Yeah, and then you can grab the ball back and just totally screw them.
So this right here is the spawn location for the ball, and it doesn't really change. So right here, my homie picked it up. He did a cool little jump jet. I do a little jump jet.
Support that pool.
Yeah, and so so when you see me dive down like that, that's me clicking in the left stick, basically the sprint button, which when you do that in midair causes you to dash in a direction. You can do that in any direction. You can do it backwards. You can do it to the left. So like if you run alongside a building and then want to straight into one of the windows, you can totally do that, which is pretty neat. It's all right. Guy just picked up the ball. We're gonna try to support him, get him there, pull out a real actual gun. And you'll notice on the right side of the screen there, right below our faces, is this countdown timer for how long until I get that free item. It's a weird thing, and I guess it does potentially introduce some questions about like how balanced it is to give a player a free item, but in theory, like all these items are balanced such that a player could unlock it mid-match and it wouldn't totally wreck the balance anyway. So when you get one for free, it's not going to totally change the game. I think the way that they put it, and I don't know if this will make everyone happy, but the way that they put it was that it's to give players who maybe aren't that good, a chance to use items that they would not normally be able to earn as a score streak in the normal play.
I think it's extremely balanced. I think that they really started doing it well in Call of Duty and then in Ghost, but they were telling us that the reason why there's this delay.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Watch, I missed.
Because he missed almost.
And I do have to wonder. They didn't say anything to this effect, and this is pure speculation. I wonder if they are going to like do the microtransaction angle with this, because the way that the opening up these treasure chests and getting items out of it just felt very much like Dota 2 keys and treasure chests or something. So like I missed it. Oh my god.
Yeah, we were like, oh,
so
man.
sad. And like knowing you guys were standing behind my shoulder watching me fuck all this up was just
no, that's the worst part is when you finish the game. It's like, oh, people were watching that
yeah,
entire
you saw
match.
that? Good, great. Come on, can I score? I've got like 27 seconds left in this round, and everyone on the other team is being indicated about my location. I get real close, try to do it this time.
Oh, you got
it! An important thing to also note is that it's 9-2, and a lot of the points were scored without my being there. I feel like a team that was well organized would not have that problem. Maybe I would be able to use actual teamwork.
No, you know, I think you definitely need to play with teams, especially during objective modes. Like, it's so frustrating when you're playing with people, like I was saying, and they don't support you. And like when you're playing in a clan or something. No, it's okay.
So here's round 2, and as you'll notice, the perks persist between rounds. So like, there's still 55 seconds on my countdown timer to get whatever is in this rare supply crate.
Yeah, we were all so anxious to see what it was.
Yeah. I was not, because there was a part of me that felt certain that I was going to call it in and immediately die and someone else would get it, which was very nerve-wracking, but whatever. So meanwhile, I'm just like spending these last 30 seconds running around, just being like, I'm pretending like I'm playing, but really I just want to get open up this treasure chest.
So what did you think this map was too big, or?
I don't know. I had a pretty good time here.
I think this map looks good.
I like that he ran it in. He didn't even like throw it. So you can tell this is a San Francisco-based map right under the Golden Gate Bridge. Where does this look like to you? This is probably what's that beach? Baker Beach?
What is that called up there?
The Golden Gate Bridge?
No.
Aw, ragdolls.
The death animations are so ridiculous. They always are.
Every FPS, right?
Well, especially this.
When you get caught in the air and your body is just perfectly still until you ragdoll. Ah, ball holder.
He tried to throw it at you.
He did. He tried to throw the ball at me. I don't know what that is, but oh, there we go.
So
That's where I
there's
called
your
my
orbital care package.
So I opened it
Could
up.
have killed yourself.
Yeah, almost did. Almost ran under it because I thought I had to pick it up.
we
So I
can
picked up a
see-
Goliath. Now you see, right on my items down there, I have the Goliath. And I called it in, and there are dudes around me, and I'm like terrified.
He's like just trying to
I just
open
want to
it.
stay alive. Because not only do I have to call in the airstrike, I have to call in the item that I'm using.
So this is your Goliath,
Goliath,
which
so
is literally, it's Juggernaut.
It's a yeah. Well, that's funny because my reaction was like, oh, it's a kind of a Titanfall thing.
It's a kind of a mech, but it is the Juggernaut from old Call of Duties, which
Gotcha.
is cool. Like, that's fun. It's fun.
It took me a while to like really get my bearings, and also you can't jump in it. So once I walked in here, I didn't really have a way to get out of here. But one cool thing about this weapon is that it highlights enemies for you, like puts a small, like 1 pixel wide outline around it. So look at my head, kind of low clearance in here.
Just Resi fit.
Yeah, just barely. Let's see. But eventually I do start running into enemies. And
No, you got some good kills, yeah.
yeah. Here we go. So there's a guy. So you can see that he's kind of highlighted in yellow. And for a minute I was like, are those teammates? Am I fucking up? But no, I'm not. Playing a little bit of defense here. So if the ball hasn't been touched in a while, it actually gets yanked back up in the sky and dropped back at spawn
Back to,
point,
like, the
just to,
neutral zone.
yeah, to prevent it ever getting stuck. But this thing just like wipes fools out completely.
Terminated.
Not unlike a Titan, yeah, terminated.
And I love that you can self-destruct. We didn't get to see
No,
that, but
I did not. I just got regular killed. But just posted up here trying to defend my goal.
But what's cool about this is, so when you would get the Juggernaut in old Call of Duties,
Yeah.
or even the what is it, the Death
Jeez.
Machine, they would come back if you would die. Like you would have it for a certain amount of time, and you could die and respawn back with it.
Gotcha.
So the fact that you got this for free, you had to wait, but then you were beast for a minute, but then you died and you don't get it
Right.
back. Like, I think that is
It's pretty balanced.
It's pretty good.
So I think the number one thing about a game like this is that feel is a fundamental part of it. Like in a game that's this involves where motion is such a big factor, if it didn't feel good to jump and climb over stuff and dash, it wouldn't be worth talking about. But as someone who had basically checked out of Call of Duty completely, I think that this game feels like good. Like they've modernized it in an interesting way.
I think it looks fun. Like, I would want to get a group of people together and play.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot, which is more than I could say about Ghosts. I just had no interest in playing Ghosts whatsoever.
Yeah, I felt excited about it, and I
At the
thought they
time.
were trying, like, moving in the right direction, but it just, yeah.
Well, that's always the way it is, right? Like, it always feels like that you should give these games. Like, there was a time when I was playing Halo 4 for a while, thinking I had kind of convinced myself that Halo 4 was worthwhile, and then I realized that I just didn't want to play it anymore. But that's a look at some extensive hands-on multiplayer for Call of Duty: Advanced Warfare. It's definitely Call of Duty,
It's Call of
and
Duty.
you know for sure at this point whether or not you're interested in that.
Right.
But I don't know. I enjoyed my time with it genuinely,
And I think it's getting different. I think it's evolving. It's
Yeah.
not the same Modern Warfare 2,
Yeah.
3, 4,
Giving-
5, 7, whatever.
totally.
Like,
The fact that Sledgehammer got to take a
Yeah.
crack at it is interesting.
and I think it's great that they're pulling in what's working in other shooters and taking advantage of that. And I'm not saying anything.
not saying they stole it from Titanfall.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Right.
there's a lot of elements from a ton of different shooters besides Halo and Titanfall
Totally,
that
totally.
I think is really smart, and they're doing their research.
It's smart, and look at that. Look, I also like that I had a positive KDR that round.
That's what's up.
Thanks to that robot suit. But
That's
yeah,
what's up.
thanks for watching. If you have any questions about Call of Duty, we will be hanging out in the comments and talking to you about it. And in the meantime, I guess we'll see how the final game turns out in just a couple months.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.